What's up, guys? Knowledge is self-determination. First off, I want to say shout out to all my subs. I found my channel hit 200 subs recently. So man, big ups to everybody who subbed to my channel, man, old and new. Shout out to everybody who subs to my other channels as well. Um, Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Um, but yeah, this video here, I wanted to talk about music real quick. I'm a huge music fan. I'm a huge fan of black music. I'm a music fan, period, but I love my people's music. I've always found the stories very interesting. I've always found my people's musical attributes very interesting. I love music, even from the Fats Domino and Chuck Berry, Little Richard days. I mean, man, groups like Shy Lights, The Drifters, Four Tops, Earth, Wind and Fire, Al Green, Teddy P. There's just so many, man. The Gap Band, and in case you guys didn't know, the Gap Band, um, which is abbreviated GAP, is for I think that the three streets, the 3 block radius in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the Black Wall Street was actually located. And their song "You Dropped the Bomb on Me" was them basically paying tribute to the fact that white supremacy, let's just say white people in Tulsa, Oklahoma, did not appreciate the fact that black people were very successful in making money. So they decided to loot, pillage, plunder, burn down the houses and businesses, destroy the entire black sector where they were making millions of dollars. And then the government steps in and then makes it impossible for them to come back and rebuild. I just had to throw that history lesson in there. That's what the Gap Band "You About the Bomb on Me" song was referring to, the tragedy in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But this isn't a race or political video, so I'm gonna move on. So I love music, man. I grew up listening to the Jackson Five, Michael Jackson, Prince. I grew up listening to Anita Baker, Patti LaBelle, Sade, Al Green, Teddy P, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Commodores, Lionel Ray, Luther Vandross. You know what I'm saying? I grew up listening to all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I have an appreciation for a lot of that music because a lot of the music was just really good. Like Earth, Wind and Fire, man, they made some awesome fucking songs, man. I mean, they made some really good shit. And the music back they actually had substance. You know what I'm saying? It had something tangible. You know, the music nowadays is losing something. It's all about the beat, the hook, and can you dance to it in the club? That's what they go for nowadays. And the fact that artists have allowed the music to be degraded so much, I think it's some shameful shit, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it's very shameful. But I like the fact that there are so many young cats nowadays who actually appreciate the old school music, who look at the new school of music and you literally have to just cherry pick certain artists because there's only certain artists out here who are actually making good music. You know, the whole thug culture, taking these suburban ass kids never who wouldn't punch their way out of a wet paper bag and making these little dudes think they're gangsters and thugs and shit. That shit is ridiculous. It's played out, man. Want some real shit. That shit is played out. These little dudes out here running around acting like they gangsters and tough guys. And I'm gonna just say this shit one time for you young dudes, man. Listen. Everybody who was born before 1995, right? Anybody who was born before 1995 knows what a real gangster or a thug is. And let's face it, real gangsters, real G's, real thug, real motherfucking murderers do not last long in the streets. I just want you young cats to know that. So before you jump out there and claim that you this big bad motherfucker, why the fuck haven't like before you jump out there and claim that shit, remember, the world is afraid of real tough motherfuckers. Cause real tough motherfuckers get shit done. Or they make shit hard for other people. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, all that tough guy shit, I've heard it all. I've heard it all before, man. I've seen it all before. You know what I'm saying? I'm not buying the tough guy act from a lot of these dudes because I mean, let's be honest, man. I mean, let's keep it real. We already know that 98% of you dudes never lived or even saw anybody do a lot of this shit that y'all say y'all do. All this dope y'all selling, all this shit y'all do in the streets. Where the fuck is that shit at in real life? Cause I mean, if you were really making noise like that, I mean, I know dudes who had the block on fire, who was making moves on that shit. And you know what was happening to their ass? The feds were building a case against them so that they could lock their ass away for the next 20, 30 years. The feds were building a case against them. And now their asses are in prison. A lot of them. So if you're out there doing that and then you're out there on the public stage on top of that, bragging about it, you'd be an easy mark for the fucking cops. Because everything you do is broadcasted. Everything you do is televised. You know what I'm saying? You constantly have attention on yourself. People are always talking about you. Nothing you do is going to be secret. Anyway, let me get away from all of that. There's a huge difference in the music. And I love to go back to the days where, like for instance, in the 90s, man, we had variety in the music, you know? I mean, East Coast, West Coast. You know what I'm saying? We had the Midwest, we had the South. There was variety in the music. And you know why there was such variety? Because the lyrics. These dudes actually had lyrics. I mean, I'm listening to NWA, you know what I'm saying? Pac, Ice Cube, Common, you know what I'm saying? Dudes like No ID up in Chicago. And listening to fucking, Andre 3000 and Big Boy, Outkast down in the South, you know, Scarface and all those dudes. You feel me? The Ghetto Boys. You know, we had all that. I listened to all of that shit, man. All that shit played on the radio. You know what I'm saying? We had Nas and Mobb Deep, you know, Biggie, Wu-Tang and all that shit. Tribe Called Quest. We had, you know what I'm saying? Strange Fruit Project, you know, the Jungle Brothers. We had all that shit, man. The music actually had messages. You know what I'm saying? Lyrics, you know. Dudes like Planet Asia. You know what I'm saying? Most dudes don't even know. A fucking West Coast kid from Fresno. Got bars for days. You know what I'm saying? Dudes who can actually spit. Dudes who had skill and talent. You know, there are just a handful of those dudes nowadays. The industry used to be awash with those cats. There's a song that I like, man. I cannot remember the dude's name, man. Sorry about that. I'm having this huge brain fart. But like what he say? He said, "I remember the day. The music doesn't seem so astounding. I recall the countless days when the sounds just blazed. A classic album sales didn't have to go through the roof. The, what do you say? A classic album sales didn't have to go through the roof. The bottom line was you had to be talented. Honestly, I used to listen to the music consecutive, nonstop, constantly. I don't know. Nowadays, there's no motivation. I find myself mostly listening to the oldie station. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, if I could remember the dude's name, I'd tell you who it was in the name of the song, so that you can check it out. It's a dope joint. But anyway, man, I just want to talk about that. I miss those days, man. I miss the variety. I listen to if I happen to listen to the radio, it's the same fucking, of course, the same top 20, same top 40 songs all day long, and they all sound the same. And there isn't any debating this because even kids who grew up listening to this shit are saying this shit. The music sounds the same. These dudes are using the same snares and drum track. You know what I'm saying? The drum tracks over their beats and shit. Using the same sounds. These dudes are imitating each other. There's literally one style in hip hop now. There's literally just one style. There is not a multitude of styles. And I mean, there actually are. That's just not what's being broadcasted. Because the kids who are listening to the music nowadays are very unintelligent. They don't want to hear shit that is actually good. They don't want to actually hear. They don't want to actually hear lyrics and stories being told. They want to listen to what the music industry tells them is trending, and that's what's the problem with this world. People are more interested in what's trending than what's actually going to stand the test of time. This is I just find this new generation quite ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? If it's not something that's trending, they don't listen to it, irrespective of whether it's good or not, or something that should be listened to. But you know what? That's neither here nor there, man. Um, Music never dies. Old school music will never die as long as we have digital copies of them. You know what I'm saying? That it'll never die. I just miss the music being what it used to be. I miss the music, being for the people and of the people. We need to take the music back, man. We need to take the music back. Black music needs to be controlled by black people. You know what I'm saying? This is no diss to anybody white, but you can't sell us our music. When you get our music in your hands, you turn it into what the fuck it is. I just want people to, yeah, listen, I would like these artists to actually have the testicular fortitude to say no to those large ass record advances and do the music you want to do or know you should do. Say no. You know what I'm saying? You can grind. You can get on the grind and make paper and support your family. I know that'd be the motivation for a lot of dudes, but we got to stop selling our integrity for a paycheck. Because at the end of the day, it fucks up. It fucks up the entire race and whatever movement we're trying to get started. Stop selling out for a paycheck, man. You know what I'm saying? Do some shit that you're going to be remembered for. 20, 30 years from now, you really going to be proud of the shit that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, real talk, I love to hear music by dudes like Common and Tribe Called Quest. I love to hear music like that again. You know what I'm saying? Because everything, everything that comes from black people can't just be about dope dealing. It just can't, because all of us don't sell dope. All of us don't sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's all I wanted to say, man. I just wanted to give my opinion on that, and just talk about that, because it was on my mind for a few days, and I've been wanting to make this video and talking about the differences that I see in the music. I miss the days of R&B with songs like Whitney Houston, The Greatest Love of All. Listen to that song, man. That song is a very motivating song. There are people out here being motivated by Drake's God's Plan or whatever. Yeah, I'm not motivated by that bullshit. I'm motivated by the greatest love of all. It's so easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Man, what the fuck is more motivating than that? Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. You can't accomplish anything in this world if you don't love you first. You can't even get other people to love and respect you if you don't love yourself first. What a beautiful song, man. Rest in peace to Whitney Houston. That's when music used to be music, though, man. That's when music used to be music. Now it's track, hook, can I dance to it, put it on an album. But anyway, that's all I got, man. I know I sound like an old ass man or whatever, but whatever. Fuck you. I'm out.